Hey there, thanks for watching the Drawing for Adults program brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we're going to be exploring mark making, and we're going to be doing this with an ink pen and just a plain old white sheet of paper. So first I just want to go over several different ways of making a mark on your paper. And you can do this with more than just an ink pen. You could do this with a paintbrush. You honestly don't even need a paintbrush. You could stamp bubble wrap into press it into some paint and press it down onto your paper and you're making a mark. There's so many different ways of making marks, and it's kind of become a really popular hot topic in the art world, I would say. And here you can see just some different varieties of ways that you can make some marks on your paper, just with lots of different types of lines. So I've come up with all sorts of funny little names for them, of course, here. But for the most part, the idea is just putting your pen or whatever tool you're using on paper and doing it in maybe a little bit of an unusual way rather than just doing a straight line. So crisscrossing, swirling, whatever it looks like, squiggling, all of that. One of my favorites is the agitated lines that you can see there. I use that a lot in my own art, and you'll see that for the art project today. So when we put this into practice, we can come up with a very complex looking drawing. So I am going to be drawing my dog. This is my dog Lacey. And you do not have to draw her, but if you want to, of course, go for it. You could draw your own animal or something totally unrelated to an animal. I'm not going to go into too much detail about like the sketch part itself, but the idea is we're just going to look at her and we're going to simply sketch out a very basic outline to start with. We're not going to add too much detail. So you can see here with my sketch, it's just an outline, so just in pencil first. And then once you've gotten all of whatever it is that you're drawing, it could be a plant, it could be anything, what I want you to do is figure out, look at the object that you're doing, look at the texture of the surface of it. In my case, it's my dog, so she has fur. Of course, she does have her, nose is not furry and her eyeballs, all those things, right? But I am choosing an animal, and so therefore I'm choosing kind of that, what I called on there as, I think, sassy grass or something, which is just very like a lot of zigzags, all kind of in an almost grassy kind of way. And then you're going to simply put those there on your paper, draw it out, and then put it really, close together in the areas that you want to fill in more because it's darker, and then space it further apart in the areas that are lighter. And figure out what works best. So you might have some cross-hatching kind of lines, some scribbles, maybe the stacks. So think about what would make the most sense for what you're drawing. So definitely experiment as you're working with this. It is okay if you pick a mark that maybe doesn't fit the right texture, but think about what you're making, what you're drawing, and look at that list. You can of course invent your own. Those are just kind of made up. You can do all sorts of different mark making. So think about what works best for you. And I really hope that you're able to explore a really experimental and fun way of making marks.